Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Steven from Shock Extreme Productions, and I have another different video for you guys today. I know I've been doing some different, some reviews. I'm just gonna try to have a little bit of a variety and try to do some experimental things before time runs out and I don't have as many opportunities to do these sort of videos as opposed to reviews. But this one I'm going to be doing something that I never thought I would be doing. We're going to be looking at books. Now, I never look at books. I never read books, only if I'm in school, which I'm going to have to be doing again in a month or so. I don't read books for leisure. Most of the time, if I have a book, I'm just looking at the cover. But these ones I thought that I didn't own anymore. I thought, you know, they might have been given to a secondhand store or put up in the attic, but I was astounded to find this huge pile of books in my basement, well, in the area we're shooting in, only a few weeks ago. And that brings me to the next point. Why didn't I shoot that video a few weeks ago? I've been busy with tons of stuff, good stuff at least. So in this next stretch, I'm going to be trying to shoot video after video after video for you guys. But enough of my jibber jabber, and at the same time, finishing the 2 movies, and we'll get to that soon. But we're going to be looking at these series of books that kind of had an impact on my childhood, and had an impact on other people's childhoods, and even people that still read them today as old as adults, and even watch the inspired TV series of it, and that is, of course, Goosebumps. Now, I was pretty young when I was introduced to Goosebumps. I was mainly into the TV show, and my parents saw how much I liked the TV show. They tried to get me into reading the books, and at that age, I was really stingy. I didn't want to have anything to do with books. Still don't want to have anything to do with books. You can see how much I've matured. But I don't know, Goosebumps is something different. You know, I didn't read all of them, and I have a shit ton of Goosebumps books. I didn't read all of them. I've read select ones, but I don't know, they just had a huge impact on me, and especially the cover arts. The cover arts made me wonder, what am I going to expect? And that just forced me somehow to read them. So we're going to be taking a look at all the Goosebumps books that I happen to own. There's some that I don't own, especially for the different series. I have tons of the series, but I only own very few of them for some. But first we're going to be looking at the original series of Goosebumps books. These were the ones with, maybe I can flip it around, there we go, with the regular spine written like that, and then on the cover it introduced, you know, kind of the traditional trademark Goosebumps logo. But I'm not really going to review all the books in total. You know, if there's certain ones, I'll say, you know, what I liked about it and so on, but I'm just going to be showing you and kind of talking about what series were and how it had an impact. But the first one I have is Stay Out of the Basement. This one I remember watching a lot when it was on TV and when I bought the VHS of it. But this one, really loved this one about the scientist dad who's doing these experiments downstairs and the kids are eager to find out what. Really fun book. The episode was great though. I'll watch that episode any day. This one was also made into a TV show. I don't remember reading the book though. I guess I just got it from my library. And this one is Monster Blood. Really dug the illustrations on these. And then of course we have, which I think was also made into a TV show. I believe I read this one, but the story was different, I believe. This one is Monster Blood 2. It's been a long time since I read any of these. This one I have no clue about. I think there was a TV show of it, but I don't really remember. This one is called Why Am I Afraid of Bees? And we'll even play a little game here. For you guys watching, I would love to hear what Goosebumps books were your favorites. What series was your favorite? Definitely leave your comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. This one was a weird one. I remember watching this and reading the book, and this one it just was really weird. You Can't Scare Me, about the, like the mudmen, and it was just really, really weird, but I liked it. This one, I'd never read the book, but the TV show, the episode was bizarre. I gotta stop calling them TV shows. And it's The Girl Who Cried Monster. I never expected the TV show to be the episode to be like that. This one I also saw the episode of, and I think I skimmed through the book, Piano Lessons Can Be Murder. It was a fun episode, I guess. This one was probably my least favorite of them, and definitely the least favorite of my episodes, but the cover art I always really liked it. Attack of the Mutant. It was about like some comic book kind of kid who loves comic books and gets suckered into one, and there's this mutant guy after him. I don't know, I really didn't like it that much. If I could see something better with like that type of like comic-y kind of thing, I'd just go watch Terratoons. This one, it wasn't made in, the original is the episode, but this one I don't remember it, but I remember skimming through it at one point, but the cover art was my favorite part, and it's called Return of the Mummy. Alright, what else? Oh, this one. I love the episode on this one, and I actually read the book. I think my grandma bought me this book, and this one is Attack of the Jack-O-Lantern. See, as you get older, you kind of go like, oh my god, I remember that. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now with this. This one was actually my first Goosebumps book I owned, and somehow I owned two of them. But this was the first one that I owned, and there's a TV show, which the TV show was alright. I think I liked can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I actually liked the book more than the episode. And this one is Phantom of the Auditorium. Another weird one, but it was the first one I liked. I mean, the first one I watched. And, oh, before I get into the next one, I do want to say that as the series went on, they kind of moved into a new thing, I guess, and the logo is the same on the spine as it is on the cover. This one made a really good TV show, and I actually really love this book, How I Got My Shrunken Head. Don't remember much about it, but I just keep remembering that I loved it so much. This one I never read the book of, but the episode was pretty bizarre, and it's called The Cuckoo Clock of Doom. And let's see, this one was just stupid and weird at the same time. I really didn't have that much use for it. And this one is, and there's another thing about this, Go Eat Worms. And another thing about some of these Goosebumps books is that at the end of some of the stories, they would start off with a new story coming up next in the series, and this one included Ghost Beach, which I thought was a pretty cool way to keep you on the edge and kind of buy new books as you go along. And this one, the TV show, was great. I never remember reading this, I don't know why. And this one is My Hariest Adventure. And if you're asking if I'm going to go back and read them, maybe, probably not, but we'll see. And like I was saying over here, Ghost Beach, there was a TV show on it, but I don't remember much of it. This one was always so cool. I remember liking this one a lot, and it's The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. I just love anything to do with scarecrows. The next one is one that I always thought would have been an episode, but just never happened, and it's called The Haunted School. I know that there was The Perfect School, but it wasn't the same thing. At least I'm not sure. Yeah, that's not it. And the last one of the regular series, this episode I always really liked, and I don't think I even read the book, but it's probably one of the most notorious as well, A Night in Terror Tower. So that was it for the regular books, and at this point they were starting to do bigger and better things with the Goosebumps series, and this one is when they started doing the Monster Editions. This is Monster Edition number 1. I don't remember how I got this, but basically these were usually 2, sometimes 3 books in one. This is 3. This one has Stay Out of the Basement, Welcome to Dead House, and Say Cheese and Die. And actually inside the book they had one of these. I think I should start drinking water during these videos. They actually had one of these things where if you open the page it would scream but the battery is dead, so who knows. So that was it for the originals, and at this point Goosebumps was becoming super popular, being sold in bookstores, and there was even a spoof written on it, which I don't know how I got this in my possession. It's not hard to find. I know you can find it really easily, but there were 2 of them in this series, and I'm not sure if Scholastic or R.L. Stine, the writer of the Goosebumps books, had anything to do with this, but this one was called Gooflumps, and I've never heard anybody talk about this before. And instead of R.L. Stine, it's R.U. Slime. Warning, not a Goosebumps books. This spoof is just a goof. Buy 2, that's it, which means I never knew what it meant until now. By the second book, that's it. And this one is a spoof of Stay Out of the Basement, and it's called Stay Out of the Bathroom. And I remember skimming through it, really never read it that much, but this one was always the, kind of the gem in my collection. I never, ever, seen anything like it. I never saw it sold in stores. I never heard people talk about it. But there's a second one in this series, which I'm eager to find too another day, called, and you could see it over here, Eat, Cheese, and Barf. So, if anybody knows about the Gooflumps series, then definitely let me know. As I said, Goosebumps became super popular, and as the original series kind of died down, R.L. Stine found out more things he could do with it, and this was the next thing he did with it, which always really interested me. And it was kind of like at the same time where DVDs, you get to choose the ending, choose what you want to happen. This was basically the same thing, and they came out with the Give Yourself Goosebumps series. I didn't own many of these. These were the ones that I never saw sold in stores or at my local library. I only saw it at one bookstore, and this was the only one that I actually bought, but this one is called Trapped in Badwing Hall, and it says here you could choose from 20 different scary endings. So, and I don't remember reading this at all. And this one was actually given to me. It's another one in the Give Yourself Goosebumps series, and I think somebody just knew that I liked Goosebumps and they gave it to me, so, and I saw that it was Give Yourself Goosebumps, so I was like, yes, I will take that. And this one is called Beware of the Purple Peanut Butter. I have no idea what this is. And next up, this is kind of later on in the series, like kind of a remake of the series or a reboot of the series, but they actually did it again and rebooted Give Yourself Goosebumps, and this one is the new series. As you could see, choose from 20 different scary endings, and then it also has an advertisement for the Goosebumps TV show, and this one is called It Came From the Internet. And what I really loved about this cover was you could actually see a Goosebumps cover in the background, or a Goosebumps poster in the background, which I really loved. But like I said, I don't remember any of this. And there was, before I get into the next thing, there was also one more series which I don't have anymore. I only had one of them, but it was the Goosebumps Presents series. And Goosebumps Presents was, it was kind of like books based off of the TV show where there were pictures alongside it, and those were the ones that I really kept track of. But the ones that I had, I believe, were The Barking Dog and Ghost Beach. That was the one I remember reading the most. And then at this time, you know, the Goosebumps TV show was picking up and more people were watching it, so I guess it came to a time when R.L. Stine decided, you know, to write more Goosebumps books. And then he came out with the Series 2000 line. This one, next to Give Yourself, was the one that I really dug. They had them at my library. They had a ton of them, and the new Give Yourself series at my library. But this was Series 2000, nothing really different, but just newer, more bizarre stories. And this one is called Full Moon Fever. And I want to say there was an episode on this, I'm not sure, but Series 2000 was always one that I really was into looking at. And, before I finish off, for these two series, I'll even read you off some of the books that were in the series, if I could find them. Some of them were Escape from the Carnival of Horrors, Tick Tock You're Dead, Trapped in Badwing Hall, The Deadly Experiments of Dr. Eek, Night in Werewolf Woods, Beware the Purple Peanut Butter, Under the Magician's Spell, The Curse of the Creeping Coffin, The Knight in Screaming Armor, and so on. And then for Series 2000, which I really kept track of, but I only borrowed them from my library stupidly, if I can find them. Probably, this one was actually made into a TV show. Cry of the Cat, Bride of Living Dummy, Creature Teacher, those three were made into episodes. Invasion of the Body Squeezers, Parts 1 and 2, I Am Your Evil Twin, Revenge Are Us, Fright Camp, Are You Terrified Yet?, Headless Halloween, Attack of the Graveyard Ghouls, Brain Juice, Return to Horrorland, Jekyll and Heidi, Scream School, The Mummy Walks, Werewolf in the Living Room, Horrors of the Black Ring, Return to Ghost Camp, Be Afraid, Be Very Afraid, and The Haunted Car, which I remember actually owning, but I don't remember what happened to it. And then I'll also read off the new ones for the Give Yourselves reboot, if they have them in there, which I'm pretty sure they do. But here we go. If this is, yes, Escape from the Carnival of Horrors, Night in Werewolf Woods, Diary of a Mad Mummy, Please Don't Feed the Vampire, Secret Agent Grandma, Little Comic Shop of Horrors, Attack of the Beastly Babysitter, Escape from Camp Run for Your Life, Toy Terror, Batteries Included, The Twisted Tale of Tiki Island, Return to the Carnival of Horrors, Zapped in Space, I actually remember reading that one, Shop Till You Drop, Dead, Alone in Snakebite Canyon, Checkout Time at Dead End Hotel, Night of a Thousand Claws, Invaders from the Big Screen, Your Plant Food, The Werewolf of Twisted Tree Lodge, It's Only a Nightmare, and the special editions were Into the Jaws of Doom, Return to Terror Tower, Trapped in the Circus of Fear, One Night in Pain House, The Curse of the Cave Creatures. So those were all the other ones in the newer series. And at this time, Goosebumps it came to a halt. People thought it was done. They still enjoyed reading them, but no new books were written. And this came to a point where a lot of the older books were their art cover was redone and put them back on the shelves to make them look new for the new century. And they put them out in this new series, which you could see the cover art is a lot cleaner and it pops more to the eye than the other ones. But I'll show you the ones that I have, and the ones I have are Deep Trouble. I think there was an episode on that. This one had an episode, The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. And these ones are probably the most famous. I don't own the third one or the second one. At least, I think I own the second one, but I don't know the third one, which is the most famous out of them. And this is the one that everybody talks about, Night of the Living Dummy. I absolutely love it. Of course, kind of a Chucky ripoff, but it's still fun. This one was an episode as well, Say Cheese and Die, about the camera that kind of predicts the future. Let's see, what else? This one is a classic Goosebumps episode and book, The Haunted Mask. Another great Goosebumps episode, One Day at Horrorland. This one, I don't remember anything about, Egg Monsters from Mars. Let's see, The Ghost Next Door. Another copy of Say Cheese and Die. Oops. And here's another thing they did. They actually changed some of the covers. Like, for Stay Out of the Basement, instead of the hand, they made it this tree kind of guy. So that was another thing they tried to amp it up with. Let's see, what's this one? Let's Get Invisible. That was a boring episode, if I can say. This one was actually the first Goosebumps book ever written. Welcome to Dead House. Another great episode. Another copy of One Day at Horrorland. Let's see, almost done here. Welcome to Camp Nightmare. A weird episode, at least the ending was weird. And last but not least of the series, The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. Another classic episode. And at this point, there was kind of like another halt in the series, until they started doing sort of a new thing. Not new stories, but they started to put the stories into these comic books almost, like what they did with The Simpsons. And these were Goosebumps creepy creatures, and they had The Werewolf of Fever Swamp, The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, and The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena. And what these were is, as you could see, basically the books, but turned into comics, which I thought was better than the actual books, because now I could actually read Goosebumps, but also look at the covers, so that was cool. And I have another one in here. Let's see. This one is Scary Summer. This one has The Horror at Camp Jelly Jam, Ghost Beach, and Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes. And the covers for all of these were absolutely fantastic. And I always love skimming through the comics. But that was another thing. And then they also had, you know, the video games, and, you know, they aired on my Cartoon Network. And I guess that's kind of what influenced R.L. Stine to come out with another series of Goosebumps books. And this one is the Horrorland series. I only own one of them, but this one is Revenge of the Living Dummy. I only went through half of it, but so far from the half it was actually pretty cool. But there are apparently more of them like this. Let's see. If I could figure it out. There was also Creep from the Deep and Monster Blood for Breakfast. And you could see the, here it is. And then they also, I think what they tried to do was remake the books into the new one. Like, they had Night of the Living Dummy on the bottom. So, and this was it of all I had of the Goosebumps books, and now I know that they're doing the movie. That was it for the Goosebumps books. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope this brought like a little bit of nostalgia back to some of you guys. I know it did for me. In these next few weeks, I'm going to start pounding video after video after video at you guys. Just so you have enough stuff, and just so I think that I have everything covered before I leave this wonderful place, thankfully not for good. And before I close this, I also want to say big thanks to you guys. I have finally reached 400 subscribers. It means a lot to me. I love you all. And there will definitely be a contest coming. I'll put another video after this one sometime, but hope you all enjoyed. If you like, definitely subscribe, like, comment, share, whatever you do, I don't know. Once again, my name is Steven from Shock Extreme Productions, and until next time, see y'all later.